Fishing Intelligence, a fishing improvement podcast for the modern angler. Hey everybody, and welcome to another week of Fishing Intelligence. I'm your host, Jacob Jasonic, and this week we have Eric Fawcett on the line with us. Eric is a Costa FLW Series tournament angler, as well as an angler expert, businessman, entrepreneur, and motivational speaker. I had the opportunity to fish with him during my time on the angler tour out at Lake Fork, and today we are going to be talking about the big shakeup in bass fishing, the tournament lifestyle, and motivation. Eric, thank you so much for being on today.
Hey man, what's going on? The intelligence part is fun. I wish the viewers could hear our previous conversation about intelligence, but we'll leave that to another conversation.
Maybe that'll be for the end of the chat. Talk about the struggles of trying to order fast food in Oklahoma, but
fast food on the road for a fisherman. That's got to be like the tales of fast food fishermen. That's it.
There's probably millions. While we're on it, just tell the story. Let's just hear it. Why not?
Hey, it's always fun to start out with a little joke. So I'll pull up to Sonic to order, and I'm like in this truck drive throughout, where there's plenty of room to pull a boat. And the screen flashes, try the new Philly cheesesteak from Sonic. And I was like, happening. Because I was going to get a double cheeseburger. But I was like, that's happening. So I go to order, and the girl's like, you want a chili cheese coney? I was like, no, Philly cheesesteak. She goes, you want chili only? I was like, no, cheesesteak. She goes, oh, chili and cheese. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, no. So then she makes me drive through this little tight drive-through thing that's not even made for a Volkswagen, let alone a boat. And then I come to the window, and she's like, I didn't even know we had that.
Oh man, I want to hear other people's some other fishing stories from ordering food on the road. That'd probably be an interesting Facebook conversation to get started.
That'll probably be the biggest conversation of the week. Is like, let's hear some of your stories of ridiculousness at the drive-through.
Yeah, once I post this, that's what I'm gonna put it up with that and see what people say. But so, explain why you're in Oklahoma right now. Let's get into that, because I know you were just pre-fishing. You got off the water. You're nice enough to give me a few minutes of your time after getting off, and so let's hear what's going on.
Yeah, so we're at Fort Gibson Lake, which is Wagner, Oklahoma, is where it's at, but it's kind of a small river / lake. It ultimately feeds down from Grand Lake and then into the Arkansas River, so it's kind of like a flood control type thing. And so we're here for an FLW Costa event and just practicing, trying to get ready for that. It's pretty tough right now. It's not an easy bite, so that's why it's right now it's 7:45 here. So
yeah, you finding anything, getting on any patterns, or is it just pretty much right now you're throwing everything you can, just still trying to figure out those patterns?
Man, I've got a pile of baits in the boat. Kind of dialed in a couple of things, and I'll like to use the word dialed in on this lake because it changes a lot. They fluctuate. They'll raise it, lower it, and that's what they've been doing. Pretty weird. So, but that being said, yeah, we're kind of I hit a giant old big in the head earlier. It was a freaking 8-pounder, dude, and it come out of the water. I wasn't ready for it. It just came out of the water and threw my bait, and I was like, no freaking way. So the cool thing about is, and I mean, I don't know when this is going to air, but I don't want to.
It'll air tomorrow, actually. So don't be spilling too many beans.
Let's not throw any juice. I mean, no, yeah, like whatever. But so like this dude just comes, just hogging out of the water. You know what I mean? And it was just like, and the cool thing is, I got a couple more bites doing that. So that is it. The way that happened, it's an option. It's totally something that should happen this time of year. And so I think it could be patternable. We'll see tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That reminded me of your story of your 10-pound bass. Because I don't know if the viewers know, but I fished with you on the tour on Lake Fork. We stuck my first ever spoonfish, which was pretty incredible, fishing in however deep that was. Totally new to me, but you were telling Alex and I the story of that 10-pounder that you guys were like, how about just tell the story of that fish?
Are you talking about the one that got the dude noodled for me?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, we've got a video. We need to share that. It's somewhere. I don't know if it's on. I know it's on Facebook, but it may be on YouTube as well. If it's not on YouTube, I'll put it out there. But anyway, so we've got a whole video of this thing. It's definitely on my Facebook fishing page. So I'll just tag you in that for sure.
Yeah.
But so we're throwing. I mean, I'm throwing a chatterbait in like 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water, and I roll over this rock that drops to like 3 foot of water, and it just hammers it. And it comes, just jumping out of the water, dude. It was a tank. I was like, oh my, and it's funny because I was like, oh my gosh, it's a 10-pounder. And you always think it's a 10-pounder when you see it jump out of the water. But so it runs up, and I give it a little bit of line because, I didn't want to I wanted to, be easy on it.
Mm-hmm.
And gets wrapped up in the trolling motor. And so I'm letting it run out. We're trying to get that done. And then it runs back and gets wrapped around the talons. I had the talons dropped, and then it goes, I get it out of that. And then it gets wrapped in a bush, like picture a dog on a leash. I don't know if you ever seen a dog on like a leash get wrapped around a pole because he runs in circles till he runs out of leash. That's what this fish did. And so luckily, somehow, I'm so blessed and lucky that I got that fish because, it was wrapped around. So my buddy, I kept it on. I kept it tight. I could still feel the fish down there. I kind of troll motored out to where I thought it was, and it was only about 3.5, 4 foot of water. So my buddy's like, he's like, dude, let me go in and get it. I was like, no, I got to get this fish. I was like, you know what? This ain't a tournament. I was like, dude, go noodle my bass, bro. So
That's
he
the
got
phrase
down
of
the
the
water.
century. Noodle my bass, bro.
That's what I sent a video. I was like, dude, you just noodle my bass. But he did, man. He got down there and he bit the line with his teeth and like broke it because it was he could not unwrap it. It was just crazy wrap. So he broke the lure. He grabbed the fish by the lip and bit the lure off with his teeth, and then flopped it up on my deck, and I was going nuts. I was like, yes,
it's legendary.
So he definitely gets some props and side props on that catch because wouldn't have happened. I don't know. I was pretty determined to get that fish, but it was wrapped around so many times, dude. Like, this is why, and I'm not sponsored by Seagar, but that's why you throw Seagar in a Braze X. Like, that stuff is so strong, dude. Like, I won't ever use another line. After having a 10-pound bass wrap around like 8 times on some sticks and not break off, I'll take it.
That's so cool. I love that story. That always gets me pumped up because I'm still looking for my first 10-pounder, and it's like.
Have you never seen the video?
I've seen the video, and that's like,
okay.
As soon as you were talking about, it just got it back in my mind, and so I definitely, everybody should go check out your Facebook page because
just look up Eric Fawcett Fishing, and it's in the video section. You can't miss it.
Yeah. Plus, you're gonna get some awesome live motivational talks. You're gonna get some great commentary on things. I mean, you're always dropping these videos on Facebook, and I love them because it's like I'll tune in, I'll get a few tips or get a few like motivational things, get me feeling good, and then go on with my day. So like, what makes you do that? Like, what's the deal?
So there's always a method to the madness. Sometimes I look like a crazy guy, but on a selfish side, I've made a sizable income off of those videos this year, and it's because I sell marketing services. Like, I build websites, I rank them on Google, and I generate small business revenue.
Yeah.
And but there's lessons I learned, right? There's just a ton of business and personal development I do, and I do business coaching too. So what ends up happening is I'll put that kind of stuff out there, and it helps people like you. You're just getting good information, and there's nuggets. Like, I drop nuggets. Like, there's stuff that I could probably, like, there's times I've got paid like $10,000 or something to teach a company a sales tactic or something, and I'll drop some of that into some of the stuff I'm doing for free, and I'm like, dude, you don't even know. Like, this dude, one of the things I have this little sales process I kind of built for his company, and they closed a big giant, like, massive like multi-million-dollar deal here a couple weeks ago. And it's funny because I was like, dude, I was like, he's like, I saw you sharing that for free the other day, but I don't even care because it worked for me and people probably don't even know. I was like, dude, they don't. They have no idea. But so on the personal side, like the selfish side, I've got 5,000 people on my personal Facebook page that are just like on my friends list or whatever. So there's a lot of business owners and a lot of people that just do stuff. So inevitably there's always someone who's like, hey, I need some help. Like, this dude called me. He's like, man, my uncle needs your help. And they've got this big electric company and they lost like $200,000 in revenue that we're going to fix. Right. So just from a Facebook video. But on the good side, like the feel good side, I legit love helping people. Like, that's how I've got to be able to fish and do what I want to do, is by listening to other entrepreneurs that talk and share things. And so it's just all about giving value. And I don't ever expect someone to reach out to me and say they need help. it's just a nice bonus that happens like organically, right? So that's just like you give value, then you get value back in the long run. It's kind of like karma or something, like business karma. But it's just a good way to live life, man.
Yeah, no, I love the positivity, man. It's just it's so great because like, I'll just be scrolling through Facebook either. Maybe sometimes I'm bored in a class, scrolling through Facebook, and all of a sudden I get this super hyped up Eric talking on my Facebook page, and I'm like fired up, ready to go. It's awesome. So definitely, you guys have to check out his Facebook page, watch some of those videos, because really positive dude, always in good frame of mind, and I mean you gotta love it. How do you bring that positivity into bass fishing in like your tournament
Oh my
series?
gosh, you have to, and that's another thing. Whenever if I've got an idea in my head, a lot like I'm going through something like I don't mean like emotional, but I mean like a business problem or trying to find a solution to something. If I will teach that solution that I find, I solidify it. So when I drive, my brain is just wide open, dude. It's like Rain Man or something, dude. It's crazy. and and so like if I give that out or if I kind of write it down, so to speak, when I go do a video like that, it's kind of like it just etches it in my mind. I don't forget it. Um, but yeah, you have to be super positive in bass fishing. Like today, I mean, the last 2 days of fishing suck, dude. Like they're horrible. And that big fish that I got a hold of earlier, like at the last, probably about 3 o'clock earlier today, really that was a game changer. And I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm a human being, and honestly, what's funny about me is I'm actually a massive introvert, which I know you have a hard time believing, but I actually get really nervous and stuff about things, and so through my head goes, man, if I blink, I'm gonna look so stupid, or if I don't do very good, I'm gonna look so dumb, like, oh, I should quit fishing, I just need to hang it up. And I had to fight that negativity, so that's why I'm such a motivator, because I've got a naturally negative head. Like my head, like I've got the most negative head you've ever seen in your entire life. Like you don't even know, but I fight it with positive encouragement and good self affirmation and and dude, like for you to say, I mean, we weren't even, I thought we were talking fishing. I didn't even know you were gonna bring up my videos. So for you to do, I didn't even know you watch my videos. So to
Oh yeah.
know that and that you get value from that motivates me 10x, man. And I get tons of messages like that, like 2 or 3 people will comment on something, but like I'll have people message me every day like about something related to that stuff. So that really helps. And so as you get feedback and as you do things, it kind of it comes full circle. But you have to, like, fishing is, I mean, I'm a prior service Marine. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business builder. I think fishing is probably the hardest thing I've ever tried to do in my life successfully. And it's just, and maybe I give it too much credit, but what I love about it is there's so many variables. Like you can be throwing the right bait with just a slight needs a feather or something stupid, right? Like, I mean, and you're not getting bit. So, or you could be like literally 10 yards from the fish and you turn around and you missed a whole wad of fish that you could have probably got a bite on, but you have no clue. And a buddy comes back. He's like, oh yeah, I hit this stump over here. And I was like, wait. You mean by that light pole? He's like, yeah. Dude, I literally turned around. I was just about to hit that. It's like, oh man, I caught 25 pounds on it. I'm like, oh my God. That's the kind of stuff that my luck. But yeah, you have to, man. You got to keep it. You got to keep a strong head. And what I'm not saying everyone should just listen to me. Like I'm not the guy, but you need to find a mentor, and you need to find multiple mentors. Like it's all about the voices that and what you feed yourself. So if you feed yourself the negativity of other people around you. I mean, dude, there's plenty of people that trash talk me. Like there's plenty of people that are like, oh, that guy's an idiot. And goofy guy doing these Facebook live videos and whatnot. They don't even know. Like if they knew the income I've generated, they'd just stop. But there's other people who are like, oh man, I haven't seen you do a video in a while, and like it really helps out. So are you gonna do one soon, or next time can you talk about this or that kind? I mean, when you get stuff like that, dude, it's like you just listen to the good voices, and that's anything. If you listen to the good voices in life and you learn from the negative voices, like there may be something to learn, but you have to put good, solid mentors. So Gary Vaynerchuk, that's a guy I listen to, or even Ty Lopez. I love that guy. There's just tons of people that you just, you kind of plug into and learn their philosophy on stuff, and it'll just change your life. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And or you can listen to all your friends and family and everyone else that are doing nothing with their life, and you can get motivation there. I mean, that's always an option.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like one of the problems with fishing is there's so much negativity because they take the competitiveness almost to like this weird place where it's, if they're not doing everything perfect, then they're just angry all the time, or that if somebody like catches a great bag, they're like, man, you did this wrong, but you still caught fish, you just got lucky. It's like all these negative people. You gotta be able to find the positive, and that's like,
there's a wave in fishing coming. It's just, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like, it's just a sport where anytime you get men together, like, and you get them in a competitive, nature or whatever, it's, my spot, or that guy's sitting on my brush piles. I'm like, did you plant the water? Like, it's like anytime you get just men together in a competitive environment, there's going to be hostilities that happen. But I think we're kind of coming to a time where, I don't know, and that's, the new MLF has a really good opportunity, I think, to open up the industry to new people. And so I think a lot of people are coming in that are positive, that are, aren't quite as, you need to be competitive. Like, you need to have you need to go out and want to kill everyone you see. Like, this is the Marine talking. Like, you want to literally murder everybody in the fishing game. Like, just come to weigh in with a sack and they're just like quitting because your sack was so giant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just literally want to be a stone cold killer competitor, right?
mm-hmm.
To try to win. I mean, that's what you got to do to win. But on the same time, you don't take it to the extreme where literally you're going to cut someone's tires because they got to the spot first. You know what I mean? Like, and I've seen stuff like that. So you got to have a desire to win. You got to be competitive, and you got to do everything it takes. But you also need to be respectful. And at the end of the day, it's about the love, man. Like, we're here because we love little green things that swim in the water. Like, we love the challenge, and man, when you come through and you break those chains, you win one. I mean, that's like, it's stupid. It's just stupid. It's like, it's hard to describe. And I got my first, BFL win this year, and it was like, I mean, just talk about 5 years of my life, like, trying towards something like that. And you finally can just see there's a little BFL win. Like, it's crazy. So, but I think we got a wave of people coming that it's kind of changing. I think people are ready for positivity, and it's just kind of got to, do its thing. But
yeah. And so you brought up the Major League Fishing deal. So say I was someone who had no idea, like, I like bass fishing, but I don't really know the tournament series that well. Explain to me what's going down right now with the Pro Series.
Well, I've got two sides of that coin. From a strict, just emotionless business perspective, I think it's going to be great for the industry as a whole. On an emotional, I feel bad kind of way, man, I feel bad for bass right now. Like, just all their top guys, well, not all of them, but a good chunk of their top talent just pretty much ripped out from underneath them, like right at the end of the season. I mean, and I don't know if they knew it was coming. I don't know. I really don't. I would assume they did. I know some guys that are in the know, and I've known about it for a couple of months, I think, or something like that. But I didn't know. But yeah, I didn't know it was going to be that drastic. I didn't know they're going to take those guys like that, and it would be you fish pretty much one or the other. I mean, you could fish the others, but logistically not going to happen. So I feel bad for bass, but on the same time, I think it's something that's going to and that goes back to the same thing with the negativity, right? Like, you've got this old school way of thinking that kind of permeates the industry. And we need to get with the times. My wife likes to watch Major League Fishing. She doesn't like to watch the FLW or the Bassmaster, classic shows or whatever. Like, she doesn't get it. Like, the only people that like to watch those shows are tournament fishermen. But dude, I could see like little kids and like wives and people, that guys that don't even go outside. Like, I could see them getting into the intensity of it. Like, so it has, I mean, we're a $74 billion industry in the fishing sector right now. And I think that has the ability to, double that, honestly. And I don't know, that may be asking too much, but you get in a mass market on just primetime television where anybody in their dog. I mean, it should be in the tune of what the NBA, NFL, NBA, at least the PGA Tour. Like it should be on level with the PGA Tour. Another thing it does is and there's talk of it, there's chatter. It makes it possible for a pro to be drafted or invited, and they don't have to pay an entry fee. Now, currently they have to pay an entry fee, but it really sets the stage for. To me, at the professional level, you should not have to pay your own way. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of guys get sponsors, but that's still you have to pay it, and it somehow has to come out of your pocket or your sponsor pocket. I think you should be drafted, and the organization pays it. That's just to me. I mean, that's how the PGA Tour is. That's how, but the guys that get to the PGA Tour, they've got to win a lot of golf. They got to pay entry fees, just like we do. But it really just. It really is like the big upgrade that the industry's needed. And I think that's why you have so many people signed up. I mean, man, guys like Kevin Van Dam, he's been with, Bass is his fishing life. It's his life, and so it wasn't an easy decision, I promise you. But I think going forward, they know, obviously there's money. Let's not be stupid. But I think also they really see what the potential it can do for everybody. And so when the smoke clears, I think, because, think about it. It's not like Bass just shuts down next year because their guys went away. There's guys from the Bassmaster Opens. Dude, that just opened up how many slots for guys that can move up? Because they're going to need somebody's going to have to fish it.
Yeah,
right?
so many slots opened up.
And it's going to really, so that it's going to change a lot. That is going to change a lot of people's lives, and right there, give us some fresh faces to look at, and then, we can watch the guys we know and love on, Major League Fishing. Zach Burge is a close friend of mine. He's from Oklahoma. He fishes the tour, lives, not too far from where I do. So I like fishing, like he's fishing here on the coast of this week, and I like seeing him, at tournaments and stuff like that. But I can watch him on MLF or when I see him in town. It is what it is. But I think all together it's going to just make everything better. I really do.
That's great to hear, because I've heard a few opinions, seen a bunch of stuff on Facebook, and I definitely like the MLF format. I think it's super unique. So it's easy to see why people enjoy it. It's just a lot of the people that weren't in the know like me, it's all of a sudden this is all just happening. So it's came out of nowhere. But you want to explain real quick like the MLF format for people who are listening and maybe don't know, like they're just all of a sudden hearing about MLF because of this blow up in the news?
Yeah, so normally you have to understand normal tournament fishing. So normally we go out from, as soon as like 7 a.m., let's say, safe light, whatever, when the sun's up and you can see across the water when it's safe. And then we come in about 3 o'clock roughly, about roughly an 8-hour day. And you have to catch the 5 biggest fish that you can find in the lake. And so whoever has the biggest set of 5 fish, which we call sack, they win, right? And so if it's a multi-day tournament, then you add up your weights for 3 or 4 days, however many days your tournament is. So whoever has the most weight at the end of 4 days, that guy gets the money. With Major League Fishing, you have a marshal, like a referee in the boat. There's kind of some strict rules, and there's a lot of. So one problem with regular tournament fishing is how the fish get tossed around your boat all day, and then it just puts a lot of pressure on them. And so when they get released back in the water, we do a really good job of keeping these fish healthy and getting them back in the lake, but some die sometime. With Major League Fishing, they catch the fish, they weigh it right there in the boat. The referee weighs it, and then that goes into a live score tracker system, and they release the fish back into the lake. And what that does, it allows the fish to just go back in the water. It's unharmed. So that's kind of a cool thing, which, I like weigh-ins. I like seeing a guy hold his big fish up, and, I hope they don't die, but at the end of the day, I like weigh-ins. So, that doesn't 100% identify with me, but I do like the fact that they're taking care of the fish doing this. And so, well, go ahead. No, so you got, at the end of the day, they may have an event where it says you got to have, 20 fish. Whoever gets to 20 fish first, or the most weight for 20 fish wins, or 20 pounds. Let's say 20 pounds is the cut line. Whatever they say, it's basically like you have 3 different periods of play, and so it's really intense. Like, they don't get to practice on these lakes. All they get to do is show it. Like, they're told, hey, here's a random lake. and go fish it. Like me right now, I'm fishing at Fort Gibson Lake, Oklahoma, in Wagner, Oklahoma, and I'm getting to practice that for 3 or 4 days ahead of time. Those guys just show up to a lake and they have to figure it out on the fly. So whoever can figure out the most fish or the most weight, it's still scored by weight. So if you catch a 5-pound bass, that holds more weight than a 1-pound bass. But if you watch the format, it may not sound that fun if you're just listening to me talk about it. But if you watch Major League Fishing live on television, it is freaking intense. Like, you'll see, like, they do a good job of showing you how much the stress is on these guys because you hear, another thing is, like, when I'm fishing a tournament, I know someone's catching fish, but I don't know who. With Major League Fishing, like, you hear, Zach Birch caught another fish. Kevin Van Dam caught a fish, blah, blah, blah. They're live. Every time someone gets a fish, they're updating it. And so it's in your head. Like, if you're not catching fish, you're like, oh man, what are they doing? It's, crap. I gotta move. I gotta go somewhere else. I gotta change up. I gotta do something. And so it's just, if you just watch it, they do a good job of really putting that drama out there, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to watch. I mean, my wife likes it. She can't stand fishing. So
it really is, like, you can't even argue with that. It's a good time. It's so in the moment. Like, obviously you lose the weigh-in, which there's the two different sides. It's either you get the weigh-in, big bags, big event right at the end of the tournament, or you get the live tracker, you get the fish released quick, but you don't get like the massive event where everybody's together, you're pulling fish out of bags. So it's definitely two different sides, and that's why I feel like both are going to do well, because you're going to have your old school guys that still want to hold up a big bag, and then you're going to get the new people who either didn't know that much about MLF, and they're going to start watching that all the time on live television just because it's really fun to follow, or maybe opening up new spots for new people to get into fishing. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
I think it'll be great. And that's the thing is, I don't think traditional tournament fishing goes anywhere. I mean, they would really have to mismanage things or something crazy. I just don't. And what I find interesting is that Bass Pro Shop, which basically gave a big money go ahead investment to Major League Fishing to make it happen, they also just increased their investment to FLW, and I don't know if they did with Bass, but I think they did. But I know they did with FLW in fact. So their intention is not for FLW or Bass to go away. I mean, and what are they going to do? I mean, they can't have everybody go to the Major League Fishing Tour. I mean, they would have to set up like multiple tours, and then like at the end of the year, like the top of whoever, it would just be a chaos. So, you've got what, 100 something people in FLW, and then like 80 people in Bass, which they'll have to refill. Yeah. But it'll be interesting for sure. And I think the industry grows. And think about it. I mean, the BFL's kind of where I start. Well, I started in TBF, so let's go there. The TBF, you got the Bass Nation, you got some of these lower level tournaments that lead to the pro circuits. So you'll have guys saying, "How can I want to tournament fish? How can I do that?" And they may just, people will come to fishing that had no idea that, man, that looks fun. Next thing you know, they're buying boats and tackle, and oh, hey, I want to fish a tournament. How do I do that? And then they're joining local clubs, and everybody in the industry benefits from this, because the more people show up for the Wednesday night jackpot at Lake Thunderbird, the more I'm going to win. So,
and then like what you were saying with Bass Pro increasing their sponsorship money into MLF, they're probably just banking on the fact that MLF is changing up. They're going to bank on everybody else just growing through MLF doing better, because more people are going to be exposed to bass fishing. It's going to be a much more shareable platform, I feel like. So I feel like they're going to do a really good job of hitting the social platforms. It's going to be like quick pace. It's fast to watch. They got camera on every boat. They're showing every fish catch. So it's definitely going to be a positive overall.
I'll be interested to see how, or if they do an MLF live feed. Like, I'll be interested to see how that, or do they just, I haven't heard for sure, or do they just do a show? I don't know. I haven't looked into that, but all together, it's going to be great. I mean, the show is the best thing in the world. Like, I think a show, it was an hour long or something like that. And then they said, would you like, they did a survey, and the survey said that people want a longer show. So they ended up doing a 2-hour show with MLF, and it sold like wildfire. I mean, people loved it. And I mean, I didn't think you could put 2 hours into it like that real quick, but they did. They did a great job with it. And it'll be really interesting to see how this thing pans out. I'd like to see it on like, and I know it's on the Outdoor Channel. It's on, I can't remember the other two, maybe ESPN or something. But I'd love to see it on like ABC or something. It's like a sitcom or one of the game shows. Like I like somebody on the air cable or whatever antenna to be able to turn in and watch MLF. I mean, that's just a whole different level for fishing, and you'll get people that are like doing fantasy, MLF trading and stuff that don't know anything about fishing. Like you'll have guys just. It'll be a great thing. I think it'll just literally grow the sport. You'll have, I mean, the companies obviously sell tons of tackle, and which that trickles down. Like families get fed off of what we generate in fishing, and they prosper. So that's a good thing. I think it's just gonna be great for everybody.
I couldn't agree more. So we're coming up on time here, but I want to hit you with one more question.
Sure.
Give me a motivational tip for somebody that wants to get into tournament angling.
Motivational tip for someone who wants to get into tournament angling. Okay, so here's what I did. Okay, it's funny. I was looking for the Wednesday night jackpot at Lake Thunderbird in Norman, where I'm from, Norman, Oklahoma. Interestingly, I've only been fishing for about 4, maybe 5 years now, so I haven't even been fishing that long. And I've made obviously a lot of insane strides in this short time. But I was looking for the Wednesday night jackpot, and I ended up finding a TBF club, and I didn't mean to. I didn't even know what that was. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about the industry. And so I went to a meeting, and I'll sign up. I'll fish. I don't know what we're doing, but well, this guy named Big Mike, another guy named John, me and him are still good friends too, but Big Mike took me under his wing. He literally taught me how to fish. I call him my fishing coach. I tell everybody he is. And so the best motivational tip I can give you, or the best tip I can give you, is join a local fishing club and find a buddy. If you can fish from the back of you don't even have to have your own boat. Like you can literally fish as what they call a co-angler. And basically you're fishing in the back of someone else's boat, and you can fish tournaments that way. Like in the tournament I'm fishing this week, it's called the FLW Costa Series. It's a little higher level. It's like semi-pro, I think is a good way to put it. But a lot of the guys I'm fishing with, they fish the FLW Pro Tour. So there's like a mix of guys like me. I would say semi-pro or wannabe pro, whatever you want to call it. And then there's guys that are full-time pros. Like that's what they do. So you have a chance to get in the back of the boat with somebody who does really, and learn and compete at the same time. So look up co-angling opportunities, and as you get more and more into it, then maybe you go buy a boat at some point. You start fishing from the front of your own boat. But the co-angler opportunities are out there. It's the easiest way to get involved is go find a local fishing club. They're really easy to find: Facebook, Google, and you can really you can make your own fishing career start. That's how I did it. Fish with everybody you possibly can. You'll learn tips. Take some kid from where are you from?
I'm from Hudson, Ohio. Yeah, Northeast
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah. Take some kid from Ohio to Lake Fork and watch him jack a fish on a spoon, and maybe you learn something from how he's working it, right?
Absolutely, brother. I love it. Love the tip. And appreciate you coming on here, talking fishing with me. He gave me a good rundown of everything, and it was fun, man. So thank you so much, Eric, for being on, and good luck with your tournament. This sounds like it's going to be a good one.
All right, bud. Yeah, if anybody wants to see my 10-pound bass noodling video, go to Eric Fawcett Fishing on Facebook, and it's in the video section.
Highly recommend that one. Eric, thanks again so much for being on the podcast. Really appreciate you dropping all those tips and laying down the knowledge on what's been going on in the bass fishing industry. Thank you guys again for listening to this week's podcast, and we'll catch you next week. Fishing Intelligence, a fishing improvement podcast for the modern angler.